Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So if you ever seen Joe Rogan on his podcast go off about veganism, you know he's not a big fan. He thinks the diet is inherently nutritionally inadequate. You got to take a bunch of supplements to make it work because meat has all these great nutrients that veggies don't have. And if you don't believe me, I'm just not making a straw man out of Joe. Let's look at this most recent video that I made a response to about Andrew Yang's position on vegetarianism.
Yeah, and even that Andrew Yang guy, like talking about getting people to stop eating meat, like that. Hey, no.
Yeah, come on.
Stop. You can't.
All right.
I think there's a lot of people that would argue against that. I think if he sat down with those people and had a debate, I don't think he'd do well.
Yeah.
I think if someone who could explain the nutrition like really explain, based on like a Chris Kresser guy.
So Joe puts his complete faith in someone like Chris Kresser being able to explain to Andrew Yang or anyone advocating that we don't eat meat the nutritional requirements for humans, that we need all these nutrients from meat that we can't get otherwise. We'd get deficient and have to take a bunch of supplements. And yeah, Chris has been on Joe's show many times. Joe holds Chris in high esteem. And let's look at what Chris Kresser has said about vegans.
If you're a vegan and you're eating a vegan diet, you need to have a perfect vegan diet to be healthy. You need to know what you're doing in terms of supplementation and how to meet the nutrient needs that aren't being met through diet.
And Joe doesn't disagree with Chris whatsoever on this view that vegans must supplement to make up for the nutritional needs that are not being met through our plant-based diet. And yeah, Chris mentions a few in particular that vegans are inherently lacking, such as
other nutrients like B12, which
an issue.
That's a big issue.
So the big implication here is that if you are not vegan, that is, if you're eating a bunch of meat like Chris and Joe Rogan are, then you would not have to take a B12 supplement because you're getting it all from your diet. And let's see what else Chris says about vegans needing to take a bunch of supplements.
So certainly it works for some people, but there are a lot of factors that determine whether it's going to work. So one is how well you do it. Two is, whether you know what you're doing with supplementation in terms of getting the necessary nutrients.
It's funny how Chris states that vegans must take all these supplements because we're missing out on all these nutrients from our diets, but on his very own website, he sells a bunch of nutritional supplements, but I thought his diet was nutritionally complete. Anyway, let's get back to Joe Rogan and let him say in his own words what he eats.
A lot of vegetables, a lot of meat, game meat mostly, wild game.
All right, so you heard Joe say it, vegetables and a lot of meat. So he should be good, right? According to Chris's and Joe's logic, all his nutritional requirements are being met. He would not have to take any supplements, unlike us poor vegans.
I take vitamin supplements every day. I take multivitamins, I take probiotics.
Oh, really? So even a person who says he eats lots of meat and vegetables still feels the need to take a multivitamin. I'm not like saying he's a hypocrite or anything like that, but I sort of am because they were just saying that vegans can't get all the nutrients they require from their diet, so they're forced to take supplements, but it looks like meat eaters need to take supplements too. But let's cut Joe some slack here. At least he doesn't have to supplement with vitamins B12 and D like us vegans have to.
I take vitamin B12 and D and a lot of different things.
I really don't know what to say now, guys. We just heard that
if you're a vegan and you're eating a vegan diet, you need to have a perfect vegan diet to be healthy. You need to know what you're doing in terms of supplementation and how to meet the nutrient needs that aren't being met through diet.
Yet here's Joe, who is eating a ton of meat, as he says, and he's taking more supplements than I am. I do take a B12 sublingual spray about 3 times a week. Not that I ever needed to. I was never deficient. I was always really strong in it, but I figured, why not? It's cheap, it's non-toxic, there's nothing to lose. But here he is, taking a multivitamin on top of that, vitamin D. I don't supplement with that. He's taking way more supplements than I take, and I'm vegan. Let's see what else Joe says about his diet.
I do everything that I can to put my body and my brain in a good place.
Sure, fair enough. I can respect that. Joe and I are roughly the same age. We were both born in the same year. Yeah, and he wants to feel good. He wants to make sure he has energy. And who doesn't, regardless of your age. So like I said, I can respect where Joe's coming from here. However, at the same time, Joe, you got to stop bagging on vegans for having a deficient diet that requires them to supplement in order to feel good and have all this energy, because obviously something wasn't quite right in your diet, which motivated you to try taking all these extra supplements. So be quiet about vegans not having a healthy, nutritionally adequate diet.
One of the things that I've been reading is about people that have found that over the long term, the lack, and this is contrary to what a lot of people think, lack of saturated fat and cholesterol, dietary cholesterol and saturated fat, leads to hormonal imbalances, leads to your body having a harder time producing sex hormones.
So what Joe's saying there is if you are vegan and male, your body does not produce enough testosterone. So you're forced to live out the rest of your life with abnormally low testosterone levels or be forced to take testosterone replacement therapy. Well, fortunately for Joe, he eats a lot of meat.
Yeah, testosterone replacement therapy, hormone replacement therapy. I started doing all that when I was 40.
All right, has anyone seen the irony here? Joe calling out vegans for having low testosterone levels and needing testosterone replacement therapy, but Joe himself, very non-vegan, takes testosterone replacement therapy. Well, in all fairness to Joe, let's let him explain in his own words why he does this.
This is 2018. Hormone replacement therapy exists for a reason. And that reason is it makes you feel way better. It makes your body work way better. You can avoid a host of ailments and conditions that are related to your body breaking down due to age. First it was cream, and then it became injections. It takes a little bit of time to figure out what works best. And then you get to a point where you have the hormone levels of a healthy young man.
So Joe didn't say what his T levels were before the hormone therapy, but only that after the hormone therapy, his T levels were those of a man in his testosterone producing prime. That is late 20s, 30 years old roughly. And remember, Joe eats a ton of meat, so he shouldn't have the low T levels that a comparably aged vegan male should have. Well, that is me, not comparatively low, but I'm the same age as Joe. Like I said, born the same year as Joe. And I had my T levels measured last year in December, roughly 11 and a half months ago. And here they are, 744. And to put that into perspective for you, let's pull up this chart here. My T levels are those of a man in his testosterone producing prime. And again, I don't do any hormone therapy. I just follow a plant-based diet, which science has shown I'm not a freak. It's really normal for those who don't eat meat to have above average T levels, despite what Joe Rogan was saying earlier. So let's quickly recap. Joe takes multivitamin, probiotics, vitamin B12, vitamin D, and gets injected with testosterone. What do you guys think about this? That's why I'm making this video. I'm not calling out Joe for taking supplements. You know, that's quite normal, but to call out vegans as he does as requiring supplements because our diets are nutritionally deficient, while at the same time he takes a whole boatload. I want to see what you guys think about this inconsistency in what's coming from him. So leave your questions and comments down below. Hit like, share this video with someone who really thinks Joe's nutrition advice is spot on. And until next time, guys, remember, let's vote vegan. Yes, I'm running for City Council in Long Beach, District 2. If you live in Long Beach, you can vote for me next year in March. And if you live anywhere in the United States, you can contribute to my campaign. Please, everyone, go check out my website, ryanlum.net.
You're changing your mind again. You've got me spinning circles, spinning round and round, spinning till I'm dizzy, fall into